I got some tea to spill, so if you're ready to chill, take a jail pill.
Hello, welcome back. I can't believe you're back here after my crazy cult episode. I wasn't sure if you'd be back after that, you know? Actually, I did get a couple of messages. People were like, I think this should be a cult podcast, like solely. I'm like, really? Okay. I can definitely do more episodes about it. I don't know if I'll turn it completely into a cult podcast. Maybe it will go that way, you know, or maybe it will become a cult. I mean, people have implied that I could be a cult leader. I personally don't think I have enough charisma for that, but I do appreciate the confidence. You know, I appreciate that. It makes me feel good. I would love to be your cult leader. I'm just kidding. Somebody was asking me how I determine whether I leave myself laughing in the edits of this podcast. I don't know. I just don't edit too much out of it, to be honest with you. Like, I laugh at myself. I don't know. Is that dumb? Maybe I should take them out, but it makes me just laugh. Certain things that we're talking about make me laugh. So I just leave it in there. I don't know. Is that weird? It is kind of weird to be sitting here alone laughing, but you know what? If it's making you laugh a little bit, like a little giggle, just a little one, I'm happy. Okay. How's everyone doing this week? Another week has passed. Another week is gone. In Trader Joe's news, there is a new snack that I want to try. It's not that I even want to try it. It's that my algorithm is feeding it to me so much that I feel like I'm bound to try it. And it's the carrot cake whipped cream cheese spread thing. Is anyone else seeing this? It's probably just my algorithm. Like I'm such a dork. Anyway, I don't know if I would want it like on a bagel, but maybe like people are eating it with animal crackers as like a little snack. I don't know, guys. Do I need it? No, I don't. I don't really need any of it. But I just wonder who is the person also who creates the Trader Joe's food products, you know? Like what an interesting job. I think it's interesting. Anyway, another news this week. Perez Hilton found God, which that's awesome. Like, I mean, he almost died, I guess, and had some sort of an encounter with God, and he's like kind of this new person, supposedly. That's always a good thing. I am never going to be like, oh, so someone met God? Like, no, of course. I do have some like history with Perez Hilton that like, I'm going to have to find some more forgiveness in my heart, you know, and be like, okay, Perez Hilton made our lives in LA when I lived there not the most fun. Like, he didn't love Kelly. He wasn't a big Kelly Clarkson fan back in the day. He just made fun of her a lot. And then being in her friend group, he made fun of all of us a lot. So like multiple times we were on the front page of Perez Hilton and just like some really mean title, you know, like he would just like talk about our looks or like, just like, he would just be mean, you know? And I wasn't like, he doesn't know who I am, but I didn't love Perez Hilton. Back in the day, he was like the gossip person. I mean, there was Just Jared as well, Just Jared was really nice though. I got to meet Just Jared once at something, and he's such a nice guy. I don't know if he's still, I don't really follow all that anymore because this was honestly like pre a lot of social media. So it wasn't like you were bombarded with celebrity gossip all the time. You had to go to it. So it was either like Perez Hilton, TMZ, I guess, or Just Jared, you know? And Just Jared was so sweet. He would like feature our Jill and Kate stuff sometimes and like take an interest beyond just the Kelly world. Perez Hilton was just not very nice. He just wasn't very nice. But I'm so glad that he's found God and he's on this, you know, trajectory to better. Hopefully, maybe he'll be nicer. I don't know. I haven't really followed him in a long time. Maybe he already got nicer. But I was kind of intrigued by that story. Maybe you didn't even hear of it. I just have a personal vendetta with Perez Hilton, and I'm going to be working through that. I just wanted to put that out there. So, all right, before we get too much further, let me give you a quick rundown of this episode so you know what's coming, and then we'll get to it. I am going to talk a little bit about the Savannah Guthrie situation because a lot of people sent me that. Then I'm going to cover a couple other little topics that are relevant in the news regarding dating and robots. I'm going to talk a little bit about a conspiracy theory that I think is happening in the world right now. Like what is actually real? Okay, that's the teaser. And then we'll go to top 5, which today I'm doing my top 5 unpopular opinions. Okay, that was a request. And then we'll do listener questions. I got a bunch of new listener questions this week, so I picked a few and we'll do those and then the jail pill. All right, let's go. A lot of people sent me the Savannah Guthrie interview with Hoda, so I did watch it. And Nancy Guthrie, as we remember, if we remember, she is still missing. And it's not looking good for Nance, you know what I mean, at this point. But Savannah went on the Today Show, which is her show. And Hoda, who, you know, I love me some Hoda Kotb. I think if I could be anyone in the world, I would be Hoda Kotb. I just think she's so cool, you know? Anyway, she interviewed Savannah, and it was pretty intense. I do feel like this story continues to get weirder. There were a few things in this interview that were like, Savannah was like, she was in her pajamas. She was asleep. She didn't have her medicine. But how do you know she was in her pajamas? Are you just assuming because it was nighttime? Or did you see video we haven't seen? Is there more you know than we know? And she also talks about the ransom notes and how there were so many of them, but that she does believe the two they took seriously were real. And maybe they are real. And I hope they are real. Well, I mean, I don't know what I hope. But I think you could just see it in her. Like she's just convincing herself what she needs to believe. And I get that 100%. The guilt that Savannah has is so tangible and so real. And it like makes me feel so, I don't know. It's like I always have a little bit of conspiracy around like everything. So like what really happened there? I don't know. But if what she's saying is true and like this is the true story, I don't know if this strikes me because of my own story with my mom and how like I'm sensitive to that relationship of like protecting your elderly mother. It's such a big part of my life. Like I can feel the guilt and like the panic that she feels of not being able to care for her. Like there were a few times that my mom got out and we couldn't find her. Like she wandered down the street or she walked out of the grocery store and we lost her for a time. And this is, trust me, I'm not comparing this to being kidnapped in the night. Oh my gosh, sorry if it came off like that. But the panic that you feel when someone that's vulnerable is missing, or a child, if you have ever like lost your kid in the grocery store or whatever, that panic is so real. I can feel it from Savannah and I feel for her. I don't know. I just feel sad for her. Like, and she's like, I'm not going to be the same. And I'm like, no, you're not going to be the same. This is not, none of you are going to be the same after this. And there's a certain sadness in that, you know what I mean? Not only because they lost their mom, but it's like the unknown, like not knowing. She talked about flying over the desert and just being like, where are you? That like really got me, you know? I don't know. That story is one of the most one of the craziest stories. Definitely it's going to be of this year. It's just a weird one, guys. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I do feel sad. I hope they do find her body at least so they have some closure. Because I don't know how people do that, you know? And I don't know, that just got me thinking, like, in life, then how do you not question everything and everyone after that, you know? How do you go through every day and not just, like, be jaded and think, and how do you, like, let your kids go to school? I don't want to get all, like, you know, I don't want to do her thinking for her, but everyone in that world is, I'm like, did you up your security? Like, are you a little worried? Because what if someone tries that again? Anyway, it like gave people ideas, you know? I don't know. I do want to trust people, but guys, it's very hard. And also, you know what doesn't help with that? One of my favorite podcasts is becoming a TV show. It's called Betrayal. It's going to be on Hulu. There are like 5 or 6 seasons right now out on wherever you listen to podcasts, and they're really good. I mean, some are better than others, but it's dark. It's like people who were betrayed by people close to them. Why do I love that, guys? What does that say about me? I don't know, but it's going to become a TV series as well. So now I can listen and watch it and become more jaded about everything in the world. You know what I mean? Isn't that going to create like great podcast content here? I don't know. I think it might. I don't know. It's like, who can you trust? And then some people are just, have you heard about this? This is crazy. People are starting to just date bots, like robots, like chatbots. Could you fall in love with a chatbot? I don't know. Could I? I don't know. This woman this week, it was like on the news that married her chatbot. She fell in love. And then there's these trends where people are marrying, you know, like inanimate objects, like their car or a boat or something. That's always super weird. I mean, that's not mentally right. Not that a chatbot is. And then, another story I saw this week. A woman, this is a great story. She was like in her 40s. Like, we're acting like that's ancient. I mean, it's older, but it's like she's in her 40s. She hadn't found love. So she married herself. But then the best part of this story is then she divorced herself because she felt like it just wasn't working out. I think this had to be satire, but I love this story because this is something I would do. I feel like, I would never marry myself. That's a little beyond. But like, if I did marry myself, I can see myself divorcing after a while, being like, you know what? You are driving me absolutely crazy. I don't know, guys. Now I'm just getting crazy. But all of that to say, people are falling in love with chatbots because they don't trust other people, partly, and maybe because they're weird, and maybe because this whole world is weird. And I'm going to get to that today because I'm going to talk about what I think might be going on in the world, conspiracy theory wise. But before I go there, I do want to touch a little bit more on the dating thing because somebody asked, as one of the questions that people sent in, somebody asked for dating advice, but they didn't give specific, like, I need advice about. I'm pretty good at that. Like, if you have a specific situation that you want me to analyze or give you some advice about, I can do that. I can do that pretty well. Or if you want me to meet someone you're dating and like give a read, I'm pretty good at reading stuff like that. I can be like, ooh, here's what I see. Or yeah, that seems great. It's a blessing and a curse because not everyone wants me to meet their significant others for that reason, because I do read people. And like, I don't know, I just can see things sometimes and I'm like, I don't have a great poker face. I'm also single, so it's not like, I think you should come to me for like the best dating advice in the world, but I'll give you what I got, okay? Here's my general dating advice. Number 1, keep it to humans, okay? Don't fall for the bots. I think it's just best right now if we keep the dating between humans. That's just my personal opinion. Everything on the Take a Jill Pill podcast is my personal opinion. My other dating advice, it's like to me, it's looking for someone who you're comfortable with and you can feel like you can be yourself with. That's a huge one. And someone who like you feel like sees you and you see them. That's important, that it's not just like this superficial sort of surfacey thing, like someone who kind of sees you on a deeper level and vice versa. You need to also feel the same. People give me dating advice like, well, give it another shot. I'll go out with someone and be like, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me. And they're like, just give him one more chance. Go on one more date. And I'm like, no, I don't think he would want to either, sort of like, it's just not the thing, So that's what people tell me. So maybe if I would pass on advice that I get, it's like, give it a few tries before you just give up. But I don't really listen to that advice. So I don't know if I really believe in it. Okay. That's my really bad dating advice. So let's move on. I felt like that was a great question. I just wanted to do it here when we were talking about love and robots versus save it for the listener question. So we'll get to that later. All right, guys. I want to talk about a conspiracy theory today. And really, I just want to kind of ask the question and process it because I'm kind of more convinced of this as of late. And here's the question. Do you think we're living in a simulation? Is this actually the Truman Show? Although it's not quite as like polished as the Truman Show. But are we living in a simulation and is any of this real? Listen, I know there are other things I could focus my energy towards. And I do. I don't think about this all the time. But I do. There's a lot of people that are starting to think that this, ever since COVID especially, we are living in some kind of weird simulation. And I have to say, like, nothing feels the same since then. You know what I mean? And so I am open to the idea that something happened during that time. And maybe we're just like video game characters and someone is playing us in this video game. What do you think about that? Is that crazy? I know it is crazy, but there are different things that happen. Like people will like see a glitch in the matrix or something, or like everyone's wearing the same shirt. I don't know. There's stupid things like that. But I do think it's possible with AI and everything that something's going on and someone is sort of running our lives a little more than we are. Do you know what I mean? Then when I really say that, then it makes me question like God and free will and all of that. So then my brain shuts down because I do believe in God. And I don't really think we're probably in a simulation. I don't want to, but I don't know, like maybe God is behind it. I don't know. We don't know. There's so much mystery around all that. So I think one thing that's opened my mind to all that is being around dementia and watching my mom's brain. Like the other day I was sitting with her and she just like, she doesn't talk too much, but she'll kind of like say little things that don't make sense. And then I was just kind of talking to her and she started saying with seven. And I'm like, what about seven? She's like, seven. And for all you Friends people, she wasn't referencing that, but she was just kept saying the number seven. And I was like, I need to know what you're talking about. I feel like she's tuned into something. I don't know. Are you trying to give me a warning? Am I on level 7? Like in the video game simulation? What's happening, Mom? She couldn't really tell me. And she probably didn't mean anything by it. But I'm like, when people's brains do that, like have dementia or have different brain tumors or injuries or anything like that. Or like, have you listened to telepathy tapes? Holy crap. If you haven't listened to telepathy tapes, go listen to that. Anyway, I do think there's just potentially other realms and our brains can like tap into it, especially when they're not fully functional in the way we might think. So I always pay attention to my mom and what she's saying and what she's thinking, because I actually think it's not just nonsense. There's not just nothing going on there. And maybe that's me like wanting to believe that, but okay, that's fine. I don't mind. So anyway, I just kind of wonder if maybe we're living in a simulation. And if we are, I feel like Hollywood has kind of given us that idea. And I think that's what they do. So this is my conspiracy theory behind the conspiracy theory. I think Hollywood and TV and movies are a part of planting these ideas in our heads so that we're going to get used to them. Like they make a movie like Outbreak before we have a big pandemic so that we understand what a pandemic is and we have this fear in our bodies and minds about it, right? Or when I'm watching Paradise or like The Last of Us or even like The Walking Dead, this end of the world stuff, I'm like, oop, it's coming. Stuff is coming because they're planting it now, And what's the deal with The Simpsons, guys? What's the deal with that? Do they really know all this stuff and they're planting it? I don't know. I think if you pay attention to the TV shows and movies that Hollywood is making, you will have a little taste of what's coming in the real world. That's my conspiracy for the day. And that I think we could be living in a simulation, but I'm not exactly sure. And I wish if we are, I just want to give a shout out to the person who's managing my character and say, hey, I would love for you to just mix it up a little bit right now. Give me a little something that I wasn't expecting. Okay. All right. I'll report back and see if anything crazy does happen. That's like, but I want bad crazy. I want good crazy. Okay. But if anything kind of wild and crazy happens to me like that, I'm going to know it is a simulation and you're all going to know with me. Okay. So we'll stay tuned for that. I'll keep you posted. All right, guys, we'll go deeper into other conspiracy theories. It's not the day to dive deep after the cult episode last week, but there are plenty to get into as we move forward. All right. Today's top 5 was a request, and it was the top 5 unpopular opinions that you hold. And I'm just going to go for it. All right. Let's just do it. Top 5 unpopular opinions. Number 5, Twizzlers are terrible. Twizzlers are the worst candy and maybe the worst food I can think of. I don't like red Twizzlers. I don't like black Twizzlers. I don't like Twizzler ropes. I don't like Twizzler minis. I don't want a Twizzler anywhere near me. I think it's bull. I just think, and people love Twizzlers, like at the movie theaters and stuff. No. I will never eat a Twizzler in my life. Okay, that's number 5. Number 4, unpopular opinion. We have too many cameras everywhere. I know that they are like helpful for certain things and crimes and whatever, but I just think we're on camera too much. I didn't even think about this when I was writing these. Guys, the simulation, we need all the cameras, right? So that everyone can it's like the Truman Show. We are in the Truman Show. I do think we have too many cameras everywhere. Like if you go to someone's house and they have cameras and then you're just you're on camera the whole time. And I'm like, do you have one in your bathroom? Like, do you have one? Why are you needing to see all these camera angles? Like, why do you need all these cameras? And then out in the streets and everywhere. And I don't know. I just don't love being on camera all the time or thinking that like, and some people like back in the day, like you'd get away with certain things like toilet papering a house for fun. or doing something crazy. Nothing like illegal or really bad, but like you should be able to get away with like a little bit, and you just can't anymore, you know? And so I think we have too many cameras. Also, are they doing any good? Because why can't we find Nancy Guthrie if we have all that camera footage? I'm just wondering. Okay. Number 3, unpopular opinion. I don't know, maybe this is a popular opinion if you agree with me here, because I think money actually can buy happiness. Okay. I'm not saying that money cures everything in your life or takes away pain that like you can only deal with emotionally. But money, like having money does help a lot of situations. And people are like, oh, money is the root of all evil. No, the love of money is the root of all evil. That's what the Bible says. But like money is not the root of all evil. And I think money can buy you ease and can buy you certain comforts that do bring some happiness. So I don't know, that might be controversial, but I think money can buy happiness. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. Number 2, unpopular opinion. I love bologna sandwiches. I do. They're my comfort food. They are like when I am in a dark place, like a not doing well emotionally, my comfort food is a bologna sandwich. Okay. On like white plain bread, like just the stuff you know what? And I figured out why. My grandmother used to give it to me when I was a kid. And I think it just gives me nostalgia or something, but I will buy bologna like once or twice a year. And it's always when I'm like, some of my friends would know if Jill buys bologna, like check in on her, you know. It's like, this isn't recent really. This is more back maybe in my 20s. But yeah, bologna sandwiches are the bomb.com, and people hate bologna, but I love bologna. So I think bologna sandwiches are the ultimate comfort food. So that's unpopular opinion number 2. And coming in hot at number 1, here's my unpopular opinion. Most people have no clue what they're doing. Okay? I don't care what they do, who they are, how educated they are. I think a lot of people just don't really know what they're doing. And I don't mean that in a critical way. Like, I'm not saying people are bad at their jobs or people are not qualified for things, but we're all here for the first time in this simulation. Maybe we're not. Maybe we've been here a million times. So maybe I'm wrong about this. Anyway, we're all just like learning for the first time in everything we do. And I think most people really have no clue what they're doing. And they're just kind of going along doing it. I don't know. I mean, we use phrases like you practice law, you practice medicine, you know. I think we're all just practicing whatever we're doing, and nobody really knows. So whenever you feel like insecure, like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I know what I'm doing, nobody does. Okay? Unpopular opinion number 1, nobody knows what they're doing. It's actually very comforting and very, very scary, depending on which situation you're looking at. Okay, that's my top 5 today. Thank you for that. All right, guys, let's move in to listener questions. The first one was there's a couple weird ones in here that I love. Like this one, when you shower, do you wash your legs? Yeah, do you not? Do people not wash their legs? Why? I wash my legs. Like, you got to wash your legs. I don't understand that one. But if you're asking, it must mean people don't. So that one I just had to throw out there. Okay. In the same vein, would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands? I would always rather have hands for anything. I just think like they're just more functional. So, but do I have to have my feet on my hands and my hands on my feet in this case? Or do I have hands on my hands and on my feet? So I have hands and hands. That's what I would go with, honestly, versus feet and feet. In a perfect world, I'd keep it how it is, you know? So if my simulator guy, video controller guy is listening to this, or girl, whichever, I would like to keep my hands and feet where they are. Thank you. All right, next question. Have you ever thought about being on a competition show, reality show, or The Voice? Yes, I have been on America's Got Talent season 1, as I've shared before. We didn't win. It was Jill. This is all Jill and Kate stuff. I've never done any of these, like, just solo. We auditioned for multiple shows while we were living in Nashville. I think there was one called Can You Duet, maybe, or something like that. Something about duetting. And then one other singing one that I can't remember what it was. I don't think it ever even came out. And then, yes, we were asked to audition for The Voice multiple times. For whatever reason, we just really didn't want to do that, but we finally agreed to audition. This was like maybe in 2017, something like that. So we finally agreed to audition. We really didn't want to do it. And people ask us why a lot. It's not like we thought we were too good for it or like whatever. It was just like we liked the autonomy that we had, kind of, you know? But we finally agreed. And that day when we were in Nashville, we were going to go to the audition. There was a huge ice storm and everything got canceled. And so we didn't end up going to that audition. And then we decided maybe that was our sign. Like, we didn't want to be on The Voice. I wouldn't want to be on The Voice. I like The Voice. It's cool and it's a great idea. It's just, honestly, one, I don't want to be on TV, really. Two, I don't know. I've been doing music for like 20 plus years and I just kind of like owning my independence when it comes to it. Like, I can write whatever I want. I can sing whatever I want. I don't have anyone telling me what to do or what I can't do or whatever. So I just kind of am like, yeah, I'm good with that. But I like watching them sometimes. Like, I think it's fun. And I think, you know, it's crazy that they're still going as long as they have. So yeah, that's my thing about reality shows. Well, we did actually. Kate and I did have a deal with a production company who wanted to make a reality TV show about us and our career. And we actually did sign with them and they came to Nashville and filmed for a few days. And we did this whole reality show episode, like a trailer, it wasn't a pilot. Oh, it was a sizzle reel, I guess. So it was like a small episode, a short episode. And it followed us like through into the studio and doing a video shoot and then having coffee at they made us like have an argument and film it in the car. And it was actually pretty funny. They like instigated a fight between the two of us so that it would be like drama in the show. And we didn't know at first. And then anyway, it was kind of funny. But yeah, they pitched it to a bunch of different networks and there was a couple that had interest, actually. I count it as one of the things that I'm really glad did not happen in my life. Like, there are a few things like that didn't work out, whether it be career-wise or relationship-wise, that I'm like, you know, that Garth Brooks, thank God for unanswered prayers. I think a reality show, I think it would have been kind of fun and like a good experience, but I don't know. I don't really like my life under that much of a microscope, I don't think, you know? So it was a great experience and cool and whatever, but that ship has sailed, I think. I don't see myself on reality TV anytime soon. Or maybe ever, unless my simulator guy decides. This is a joke that keeps coming back now. I don't know why the simulator guy is a guy for me. I just feel like that's what's happening. Because I feel like he's like a gamer and he's like just controlling my life, you know? And he's like, ooh, reality TV show? No, I would also like, I'd rather have feet for hands, I think, at that point than be on reality TV. All right. You guys asked these questions, so I have to blame you for this. All right, let's do one more, okay? This is from Kathy. What do people do in public that bugs you? Great question. Love to share my pet peeves here. It's got to be the loud speakerphone in public for me. That's the one that really gets me. I don't really mind if someone's talking on the phone. Like, you have to talk on the phone. Certain places, like if it's inappropriate, don't do it. But I know sometimes you have to take a call. But why do you have to be on speakerphone? I don't need to know. Obviously, you want me to know whatever you're talking about, or you want someone to know. There's no need to put it on speakerphone. You know, that's the thing for me. If you have a good reason, I'd love to hear it because I am open. I feel like I don't always want to just be like ranty and ragey, you know? I'm open. If you think there's a good reason for speakerphone, let me know. I'm not going to be judgmental about it, but I don't love it. You asked me if it bugs me, so it bugs me. Anyway, yeah, that's what came to mind when I thought about things that people do in public. I'm sure there's other things too, but that's what I got for you. All right, let's go into the Jill pill for today. I'm just going to drop this little thought on you for the Jill pill, okay? And it's this. Nothing is ever as good or as bad as it first seems. I think that's so true. I think it's super easy to be reactive when anything happens. Good or bad. I would say for me, I'm more reactive when something bad happens. Like I go to worst case scenario, like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. This is the worst possible thing that could ever happen. When something good happens, I'm not as much like this. I think some people are though. Something good happens and it's like, oh my gosh, life is good forever. And it's like, this is the best thing that's happened and nothing bad will ever happen again. And I think both are just untrue. And both take you out of that regulated emotional state that I think is a really healthy place to be. So I don't know. I just think if you get news and it's like good or bad, it's never as good or as bad as it first seems. So it doesn't mean it can't be really good or it's not going to be really bad, but give it a little time is my bottom line here. Because when it first happens, it's very easy to overreact and just be like, it's the best thing ever or it's the worst thing ever. And nothing's ever as good or as bad as it first seems. So just take a breath, give it a minute, let it breathe. All right? That's my Jill pill for the week. Pop that sucker. Okay. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. If you want to tell your simulator guy or girl to leave a rating or review for me, I would love that. Just tell them to tell you to do that. That would be great. No, you can leave me a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you do that. And I'd appreciate that. And you can find me at takeajillpill.com or on Instagram at Jippy Music or Take a Jill Pill Podcast. And I hope you have a great week. I hope things really work out in your favor this week. That's what I hope for you. All right. Until next time, be good. Take a Jill Pill. Bye.